I, as the reader, am entering the unknown right now. So it's a forest of words, a lot of trees, a lot of words, and I'm stepping in. The writer is telling me to come in. It's fine. I've got you. Today I have a challenge for myself because the task today is a task 2 essay, and it's about risk and the advantages, disadvantages of taking risks. But the style of writing is something you may not see on the internet very often. So join today the IELTS Juice channel and let's assess, improve, and score a task 2 response. The rubric says, it's important for people to take risks. We know that, both in their professional lives and their personal lives. I like that. So there are two aspects of it, professional life and personal life. And IELTS would like us to address both of them. Now, here's the tricky part. The question says, do you think the advantages of taking risks outweigh the disadvantages? You might think this is an advantage, disadvantage, and you might want to show the number of advantages are more than disadvantages or vice versa, or you want to convince me with equality. But this time around, we have something a little bit different. So what if we believe that, yes, advantages do outweigh disadvantages? Or we just, again, doesn't matter. We just say, no, disadvantages outweigh advantages. Either way, if we go ahead and answer this question in a yes or no manner, that would be a little tricky. But don't worry, we've got you, because after this, you can always check the description below to see the other method, which is improved, and you will see the advantages, disadvantages. Without further ado, let's look at the candidate's response. Taking risks is an integral part of human life, encompassing, I need a comma before this, because this is a gap in comma, because you normally need to write which encompasses, but that element is omitted, so you just need to put a comma to say that, yeah, that was deleted. Encompassing both professional and personal realms. I mean, the essay starts heavy, as you can see. Realm. Whoa, big word. This essay will argue that the advantages of taking risks outweigh the disadvantages. Okay, I understood. We now answered yes. The advantages do outweigh disadvantages. Period. Done deal. Finished. We just need to support our opinion. Correct. I still need to say one more thing, is that I usually don't like this phrase. I don't like that phrase. When we say this essay will argue, it's very cliche. It just doesn't resonate very well with me. There are no rules or regulations against it. You will not lose marks if you say this. I'm just saying it's a lost opportunity when you can say much more beautiful words and sentences. The advantages of taking risks outweigh the disadvantages due to the potential of significant personal growth, career advancement, and the development of resilience. The third one is new. The third one is not included in the rubric. So I can see already that the writer is taking some risks. We are addressing personal life, professional life, but this one, resilience, is something new. That's interesting. Despite the inherent uncertainties and potential for failure. Inherent uncertainties and potential failure, or the potential for failure, are two disadvantages. But we are undermining them because there are three possible significant advantages. Now, this arrangement in the thesis, this is your thesis statement, the last sentence of your introduction, which is, whoa, it's quite large. It starts from this here and ends over here. This is quite big. This arrangement might give me this impression that first we are going to talk about the significant growth, then a career advancement, and then the development of resilience, and then we will have 1 or 2 paragraphs about inherent uncertainties and the potential for failure. So I'm expecting maybe 4 or 5 paragraphs ahead, right? Wrong. I only have 2 body paragraphs. Now, that is another risk. Let's see. I, as the reader, am entering the unknown right now. So it's a forest of words, a lot of trees, a lot of words, and I'm stepping in. The writer is telling me to come in. It's fine. I've got you. At the end of this, I will tell you, I will convince you that the advantages are more than disadvantages. But the road ahead is not clear to me as a reader. Let's read. Firstly, taking risks often leads to personal growth and self-discovery. Okay? Okay. So we're focusing on the personal aspect of it. When individuals step out of their comfort zones, they encounter new experiences and challenges that can lead to a deeper understanding of themselves. Obviously, more explanation of something that we just learned. For example, traveling to a foreign country alone can be daunting. Good word. But, correctly punctuated, it can also provide invaluable lessons in independence, adaptability, and cultural awareness. I agree. The example is a bit generic. It's not an example. When traveling to a foreign country, yes, it is good, but still, we could come up with better details. And when we say lessons in independence, maybe we could say something, or adaptability. What do you mean by adaptability? If you are used to having in your meal a piece of bread, but you are traveling somewhere that people don't eat bread and they eat rice, like, I don't know, for instance, like Japan, then, well, you need to adapt. So you can eat rice in the morning. You need to adapt. That can be one very good example. Eating rice for breakfast in the morning can be something helpful here. And cultural awareness, obviously. These experiences contribute to a person's overall development, making them more well-rounded and capable individuals. So we covered the personal aspect. Similarly, in the professional sphere, risk-taking is often synonymous. Whoa! I'm beginning to feel that this essay has some 9 vibes in vocabulary. With innovation and career advancement. Good collocation. So now we're talking about the professional life. Many successful entrepreneurs, good word, hard to spell, bravo for spelling, and professionals attribute, that's a word you don't see very often, their achievements to bold decisions that involved significant risks. All right, I would have used the present simple, but okay, it's not wrong. For instance, leaving a stable job to start a new business may seem risky. It's not an example. We need better. Please, this should be a stable job, like working for a, I don't know, working as a help desk operator for a garment company. That would be an example. To start a new business of manufacturing bow ties. That's an example. May seem risky, but it can lead to substantial financial rewards and personal satisfaction if the venture succeeds. And my good friend, that's a big if, and that's why we're here. So this needs a little bit more development and it needs to go a little deeper. I can see some elements are touched, but some just do not get deeper. And we talked about the professional and personal lives, but what about the development of resilience? We don't mention it here. Next one, moreover, taking risks helps develop resilience. Oh, okay, it's on the another paragraph. And the ability to cope with setbacks. That's a good word. Failure is an inevitable part of life, but those who take risks learn to handle it constructively. They develop a mindset that views failure as a learning opportunity rather than a setback. Obviously. This resilience is crucial in both personal and professional contexts as it enables individuals to bounce back, okay, from disappointments and continue striving towards their goals. Good collocation. I would have preferred this to be in the previous paragraph. There's something about paragraphing here. However, look, this wasn't mentioned here. This needed a separate paragraph. It is essential to acknowledge the disadvantages of taking risks. The most apparent downside is the potential for failure. Good. Which can result in financial loss, emotional distress, and a temporary setback in one's career of personal life. I love all these words here. Financial loss, good collocation. Emotional distress, very good collocation. Good choice of words. And temporary setback is another good collocation. All of them are great. The issue is, I hope that when we say these examples, or we say these categories, we have at least one or two examples to support. Like here, and I hope it's really an example. For example, investing in a high-risk stock market, for example, investing in Bitcoin, investing in a new startup in technology, for example, in developing a more efficient solar panels. You see, I'm giving examples. I'm trying to be very specific, because when you are specific, you can come up with better vocabulary, better words. You can bring in, you can show off the range of vocabulary, and more importantly, this is your example. You get to decide the area where you're good at. If you have a little bit of information, for example, in biology, your startup can work in biology. If you have a little bit of information about, I don't know, let's just say medicine, then you can bring a little bit of your knowledge in medicine and make one example in that area. You see, that can help you show off your range of vocabulary if your examples are very specific and they are really examples and not just some generic statement. If the market crashes, market crash, very good collocation. Additionally, taking risks without proper planning and consideration can lead to hasty decisions that have long-term negative consequences. All good. This part doesn't get proper development. I understand that the message is clear, but it needs more development. Sadly, we're done. Almost. This is the conclusion. In conclusion, while taking risks involves inherent uncertainties and potential downsides, the advantages of personal growth, career advancement, and the development of resilience significantly outweigh the disadvantages. I agree. We diminished the disadvantage part. We named 3 advantages, but for some reason, the third advantage was mingled with the other 2. I believe that's not correct handling. I would have separated them. Anyway, by embracing calculated risks, good collocation, individuals can unlock new opportunities and achieve their full potential in both their professional and personal lives. Again, we're going back to the rubric, which is a good move. Therefore, it is vital for people to take risks, provided they do so thoroughly and strategically. I wouldn't use this comma because provided is a substitute for if. 389 words. I'm going to say it's absolutely beautiful in case of grammar, vocabulary, controlling of sentences, healthy message delivery, on point, collocation, superb. I love every single element over there, but organization of information could have been better, and I also needed more development for this disadvantage point. Let's look at the band descriptors. You see, this is the part that there are two issues. One, we had one element that needed better development, but it was very generic, and also very generic examples. That prevented us from getting an 8 over here. And for a 9, we need proper examples, deep, to the point. And for every single element we say, we talked about 3 advantages and 2 disadvantages. All 5 of them deserve proper development and examples. Development, example, development, example, development, example, development, example. All 5 of them. And that makes a 9 a little hard to achieve. So that's one element. I really welcome better paragraphing, especially the second body paragraph that had advantages, 1 advantage and 2 disadvantages together. That was weird. The topic sentence was not generic enough to cover all of them. Again, another issue over there. But still, we wanted to diminish the disadvantage part. In that case, it works. I told you the sequence of elements was there, but it wasn't that I understood the logic, but we don't give it 9 because the logic also has this idea that when you say about advantages, the 3 elements must be in 1 paragraph, and when you remove 1 advantage and you add it to the other paragraph with disadvantages, what's the logic? We had the sequence, but it wasn't 100% accurate. That needed improvement. So maybe 7 is a bit risky here, so it's a little shaky. But for lexical resource and grammatical range and accuracy, I do not have much to say, apart from a couple of commas that should have been there, and maybe a little bit more development in vocabulary, which I believe it's almost perfect. Almost, not 100%. 7.5 is a good score. This has a little bit more work to do to get an 8. And it needs very delicate attention to details. So again, link is in the description. Click on it and you will be guided to the IELTS Juice website where you can have access to this and the improved version. So there are 2 samples for you over there. If you wish to see other videos like this, you know where to click. I hope I'll be assessing your task 1 or task 2 later on. Take care.